Kanye West Donda album review. So it's been a week since the album has been released, and it's given me a real time to digest the album. And I'm gonna give you my takes on the album, and I got it in a list here. So don't get mad at me for anything I say, but this is just how I feel after a week of listening to it. Um, the first problem I had with the album is that the first 7 to 8 songs, maybe even nine, has 85 features on it. Now, I know I'm embellishing, but 85 features. And I'm like, is I thought this was a Kanye album. No, Kanye usually has features, but man, it was a lot. Each song had about 3 to 4 features. And here's the messed up thing about it. It These features didn't enhance the song. These songs weren't better. And it was I know Kanye tries to do things to stay in touch with the new generation, and he's giving them a shot. And I'm pretty sure a lot of them wrote. Well, he wasn't even on like the first half of the album that much. It was all features, and to me that annoyed me more than anything. And then what even more annoyed me was that when Kanye West did started rapping, it wasn't. I don't know what to call it. He only really rapped on really a couple of songs on the album. It's 27 songs. And remember, a lot of these songs are double features. So, once again, for a guy who has this many writers as Kanye West does, I'm like, what happened to his writing? All right, he doesn't write raps anymore, but he needs to go back to his original writers because he's not. I'm like, man, it doesn't make sense, especially the song Hurricane, where he just started off, mm-mm. I'm like, what the hell is that? It I don't know what's going on, but 27 songs on the album. A lot of them, not a lot of them, but most of them are second songs of different iterations of the songs with more people on it. The album's a complete mess. And I know there's a lot of people calling it a masterpiece, but no, it's not. I mean, okay, maybe some nice hooks, but as far as the tracks themselves, if you can tell me this is quality music, then you're out of your mind. And not and quality music up to Kanye West standards. I believe he's losing his touch very slowly. He's not losing his touch to pick beats because the beats were nice, but the album was controlled chaos or total chaos. And everybody who's listening to the album knows that. You can hear the songs. It's like, okay, the beat sounds nice, but it's like different artists coming in. Kanye's on the hook, then he's not on the hook, and then there's a different person on the hook, and then he's rapping. It's a complete, in a sense, mess. And you know, I think Kanye has morphed into somebody who makes his albums worse. He switches verses all the time, and I'm pretty sure that's nothing new. But I'm pretty sure back in the day when he switched his verses, it was to make it better. Now he's switching his verses to make it worse. The song 80 Degrees, which turned into Hurricane, had a very nice, decent verse on it. And now when you go to on this new album, you hear Kanye West's verse and he's doing the mm. I'm like, why did you? The original verse was nice. You could have kept the same verse, maybe added to it, but it. I don't know. I think Kanye West is too impulsive, and it's destroying his albums. He has all these writers, but he's too impulsive. He wants to change things, and I believe it's destroying his albums. These last couple albums really haven't been, you know, that great to me, and it's not the production. But I believe if you gave Kanye West these same productions in his earlier years, he would kill these songs. The run that he was on, it would continue because maybe his mind was different. And nobody's saying this, so I'll say it. I think the religious theme, the God theme angle has ran its course. It's okay to make one full album about it, but now you're making two. What you're gonna do, make a third one, it becomes repetitive. Kanye West is becoming the thing that he never was. Each album sounded different. It wasn't the same as the last. And of course, this didn't sound the same as Jesus King, but if the theme is the same, and if you're going to run with this theme for the rest of your career, why listen? Because we know what you're going to say. There's nothing shocking. You can put the best beats in the world, but if you're running on the same themes, how creative is it? And I don't know how much longer he's going to do this, but it's starting to become, the songs become repetitive, even though they're different beats. And that's what happens when you're used to Kanye being different, and now it seems like he's pigeonholing himself into one lane. And the thing about Kanye West making bad decisions and losing his touch, this week Drake released the song that was supposed to be on the Donda album with Andre 3000. And everybody's saying the same thing. How could you leave that song off the album? It's probably the best song that would have been on the album. Especially, how do you leave Andre 3000 off the album? That makes no sense. It's Andre 3000. Now, I know Andre 3000 came out and left a statement saying, you know, it it was because the verse wasn't clean. It doesn't matter. You could have dropped the verse and it could have passed. You could have bleeped out whatever you need to bleep out, but it was a great verse and he just ruined it. And thanks for Drake for releasing it. I don't know how anybody else feels, but it's time to understand that this is not the same Kanye, and his albums are getting stale. His words don't mean as much as they did as far as album wise, because even when he raps, his mind is all over the place, and his time may be over. If he changes, and maybe something will happen where he changes and things will be better, but his ego was getting too big to make great music anymore. And the next album, I don't expect anything spectacular. I don't expect anything mind blowing, because you can see his music is suffering, just maybe like how he's suffering. I don't know. But please don't call this a masterpiece, because I can show you his 5 masterpieces that he made before he started to switch things up. And as a Kanye West fan, it's very hard to, like, I don't listen to any of his past 4 to 5 albums. Maybe yeah, 3 to 4. Maybe Kids See Ghosts occasionally, but I just want to stick to Donda. If anybody tells me next year that they're still listening to Donda, I won't believe them, because there's no framework to go from song to song to make you listen to it. There's nothing. Kanye West used to be a vibe. Oh, that's a Kanye West album. Let me listen to it. And you just vibe out to it. The hooks, the skits, everything is a vibe. The vibe is gone. He's officially, his vibe, the way you can listen to his voice is gone. And that's not even political. He was losing it before he became political. But now it's all gone. It doesn't feel the same. You can give him the best beat in the world, he'll find a way to mess it up. And it's kind of sad, because he's one of the greatest artists to ever live. Might be the greatest artist to ever live if you want to go by his catalog, because we're looking at it now how we feel, but maybe 20 years down the line it'll be different. The people who never seen him, never heard him speak, will say, I don't know what they were talking about. This was the greatest thing I've ever heard. But for now, the people who are alive are going to judge it, and this is not good. This is below his standards, and to be honest, below anyone's standards. And he could do a lot better. And if he would really look into his soul, he'll tell you he could have did a lot better. 27 songs is too much, especially when they're the same tracks. And it's just sad. But this is my Donda review. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully you comment, and maybe a lot of you feel the same way I do. Because I know you feel what I feel, that this is not what we're used to. And it's been a while since we're used to real Kanye. And who knows what that even is anymore, but it's bad. All right. Thank you, and see you again.